What's up, guys? Hope you're all doing well. So I started playing Hollow Knight pretty late. Only heard about it in 2026 on recommendation by a friend. And reaching 112% took me quite long, about 106 hours. By comparison, I reached the credits for the first time after about 40 hours. And at that time, I only had 70% completion. I managed to reach 100% without using any guides, and that was really fun, just doing lots of exploring. But in the end, I still found myself endlessly revisiting every corner of Hallownest, trying to figure out what I'd missed to get the remaining 12%. So eventually, I did start using guides to save myself a lot of time and frustration. Getting to 112% in Hollow Knight is definitely challenging, but it's achievable if you're patient, persistent, and have reasonably good reaction time and coordination. If you're fairly new to gaming, those last few percentage points make it almost impossible because they involve some pretty tough bosses that you have to beat. Having said that, only about 5% of Hollow Knight players are reported to reach that 112% milestone. For those remaining percentage points, there are some fantastic resources online, and I've linked the ones that I found most helpful in the description. First is 112% completion checklist, which helps you keep track of everything that you've already done so that you don't waste time checking the same things over and over again. Second one is a complete map of Hallownest showing the locations of important collectibles, upgrades, and objectives. If you're still struggling to find something because it's hidden behind a secret passage or tucked away in an obscure location, YouTube guides are incredibly useful. They were especially useful for tracking down the last few mask shards, vessel fragments, and some of the more obscure completion requirements. Biggest obstacles that I faced on my road to 112% are Pure Vessel at the end of Pantheon 4, Nightmare King Grim, and the Flawless section during the Trial of the Fool in the Colosseum. And I'd say before you attempt Pantheon 4, I'd strongly recommend collecting every charm and upgrading your nail to Pure Nail. Going in fully prepared makes a noticeable difference, and it will just give you a much better chance of succeeding. And Pure Vessel, I would say, is in my opinion by far the hardest challenge required for the 112%. Before attempting the full Pantheon, I'd recommend that you spend some time practicing the fight by itself in the Hall of Gods. Once you learn the Pure Vessel's attack patterns and get comfortable with the timing, Pantheon 4 just becomes a lot more manageable. I'll have a separate video that goes into much more detail on how to beat Pure Vessel and also Pantheon 4. Once you can consistently defeat Pure Vessel, you're essentially capable of reaching 112%. At that point, your combat skills are already strong enough to handle every other required boss, and the rest of the journey just comes down to patience. So you just need to collect the remaining mask shards, vessel fragments, grubs, charms, and other completion requirements, and using guides to locate anything that you've overlooked. I've included links in the description to all the resources that helped me earn those final few percentage points. Hopefully they save you as much time as they saved me. That's all for this video. Please like and subscribe. Have a nice day.